Hello everyone, I'm Robert
And I am Stacy.
of Necrotic Creations, and welcome to part 2 of the process of creating our Tiki Fog head. This is something that we made a couple of years ago, but here we're sharing how we made it.
Hey, so Robert, we see you laying some paper toweling down over the original sculpture. Can you tell us what purpose this serves?
What I'm doing here is, after you've spent so much time creating this beautiful sculpture, what I'm doing is using wet paper towels and putting it over the top of the sculpture, and in return I'm hoping that it will prevent any damage to the sculpture, and it prevents it from sticking when we eventually make the mother mold over the top of it.
Okay, so it says that we are essentially sculpting the silicone. So what things are you looking for when you're laying the clay down over the top of the sculpt?
What I'm looking for is some of the similar things that you do in a sculpture. I'm looking for undercuts. I'm making sure that there's no holes in the clay that the material will fall into and create kind of a rough spot. I'm thinking about how this piece is going to be removed when it finally goes into production. How easy is the silicone going to be removed from the mother mold itself? Sometimes it can get a little tricky.
So this is essentially the center layer of the mold. You've got a silicone and then you're going to have a harder mother mold holding it, correct?
Correct. And at this point in time, what I'm doing is, it seems like I was smoothing the outer surface down to get rid of any rough edges or surfaces to help promote that mother mold from releasing the silicone that eventually this clay will be.
Because the final goal is really to have a mother mold that will release the silicone as smoothly and easily as possible, correct?
Correct. That eases in production greatly.
You seem to be spending an awful lot of time smoothing and refining it.
I do. That's kind of, that's us. We try to make our mother molds and the silicone as just as beautiful as the actual artistic piece. It just seems that it makes for a really good production mold.
So you are laying a lot of clay on here now. What are these thin pieces? What do they do?
Well, the pieces that I laid around the edge are keys, and these are also keys that I'm throwing in. They help center the silicone into the mother mold. They also help kind of lock it into the mother mold, because the mold might have to be moved or different materials are used, and so we do not want the silicone to be flopping around on the inside. We also want it to stay consistent between all of the different production pieces we create.
Okay, so what we're looking at right now is pretty much what the silicone will look like when it's finished, correct?
Correct.
And what are the pieces that you're laying down right now, if that's the finished piece?
Well, because this is a flat back piece that we had thought of before, these walls that I'm putting in now just keep the material that we will be putting on from falling off of the board. And right now I'm adding Vaseline to the board to make sure that it doesn't stick to the board.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.